Thank you, Karen. For more on the race, joined now by Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman. And Bernard, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Nice to have you here in person. Is this thing all over but the crying? It's Obama, it's just when, not if?
It's done. It's finished. Obama's going to be our nominee. And this race has gone an awful long time. And I certainly have understood the rationale for Hillary continuing the fight, particularly coming out of wins in Ohio and Texas. She did really well in Pennsylvania, obviously helped out by controversy surrounding Reverend Wright, the bitter comments, but it's over. It's finished.
So what is the rationale she stays in? I've heard different theories, and tell me which one you subscribe to. One is she still thinks that maybe there's some October surprise, or in this case, an August surprise before the convention, that people say, oh my gosh, this guy's not electable, whether it be polling or otherwise, that he won't beat McCain. She's their best shot. There could be something else out there of a Wright-like scandal that could scare folks. Or if she runs the table with the 6 states that are left, if Michigan and Florida get in there, she could convince enough superdelegates to at least change their mind again or commit to her. Which one's in it? Or finally, she's just trying to get out on her own terms, and it's again, this will happen. It's just not going to happen today or tomorrow.
Well, I think most of the strategies that you outlined are fantasy strategies. I think we've had a couple months of the if. And I think that there was an opportunity coming out of Texas and Ohio with Pennsylvania, with all the controversy, that if she had won Indiana by double digits, come within a hair's breadth in North Carolina, that possibly she could have staved off the superdelegates moving.
So why do you think she's still in?
I think the reason that she's still in is she's made a commitment to herself that she is going to let every vote be counted. And my guess would be that once June 3rd is finished, the rest of the superdelegates, I would guess, over the course of those few days, will come out mathematically, put Obama over the top, and at that point, I suspect that she may exit the race. I think the risk of continuing this through August is greater than anything that might come out in August. We've got to unify our party.
Okay. You're now the consultant for Obama. Would you tell him to do what he seemingly is doing today, which is not going to West Virginia, not going to Kentucky, not going to the balance of these 6 states to campaign as if he is the nominee in waiting? Is that smart strategy, or does it send off a vibe to some that, you know, he's counting this thing before it's declared?
Well, I think doing it for a day, giving the guy a day of rest, a day to look presidential. Look, we're going to see Obama out on the hustings very, very quickly. And I think the tenor of the campaign is going to be elevated. I think we saw sort of a hint of that from the Clinton campaign, that perhaps the rhetoric is going to die down, and we're going to see some loftier sentiments and some engagement in a more of a mutually respectful tone on both sides. But I think Obama is going to have to go to Kentucky, he's going to have to go to West Virginia and some of these other states, but do so in more of a presidential way.
Play backroom politics. Could there be a rationale for Hillary that I haven't mentioned, which is, I actually do want to be VP. And the one leverage I have here is the longer I stay in, the more there's a disincentive for him to go with somebody else. He'll pick me, and if he does, then I'll get out of this sooner than later. He doesn't have to spend money, time, or resources between now and June 3rd in these other states. Do you think that there is some kind of deal that could be worked out, that they could be on the same ticket? And do you think she'd want it?
The answer is no and no. I mean, never say never to anything. However, I don't think she'd accept it. I don't think she wants it. I don't think he wants her. I think that if that process had concluded in February, there's a chance that there could have been an Obama-Clinton ticket, or if
too much
reversed.
bad blood.
But now I think it's done, and I think we need to move on. So the only reason that I can really see her continuing this past mid-June is to go and try some type of a legal strategy where you could get Michigan and Florida seated, but I think then you're really going down an even more slippery slope.
Finally, you get the sense that her hand may be forced before June 3rd, or if she plays nice here and doesn't jump ugly with him between now and then, kind of tone we heard you know, Tuesday night in Indiana, that they're going to let this thing play out. Just don't go to the courts. Just don't you know, talk about Reverend Wright and the other stuff here. We'll let you go out on your own terms. How do you think the final end game of this works out?
Well, that is my hope. Also, I don't think that anybody has successfully or will successfully force Hillary Clinton's hand. Howard Dean can't do it. Nancy Pelosi can't do it. I think the only person that can is Bill Clinton. And I think that there is an agreement here. We're going to let this process play out. My hope for the good of the party in the fall elections is the tenor gets raised, and then on around the second week of June, we see a very graceful exit to what truly has been an extraordinary campaign.
Word is, what I'm hearing is Bill Clinton can't stand Obama. You hearing the same thing?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bernard, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Richard.
I appreciate it.
Having me.
Absolutely.